Dream psychology. What do they really mean? Hey everyone, today we're talking about dreams, but not the ones you chase when you're awake, like winning the lottery or taking a trip to the Maldives. We're talking about those mysterious nighttime dreams, the ones that sometimes feel like premonitions or straight-up nightmares. Flying, losing your teeth, being chased by who knows who, falling into the void, and the classic exam nightmare. Are you ready? I'm going to reveal the hidden meaning behind these common dreams and how to understand them better. Raise your hand if you've ever dreamed of flying. It's an amazing feeling, right? Feeling as light as a feather, free as a bird, limitless like outer space. But what does it really mean to fly in a dream? Often, flying represents the desire for freedom, to escape from responsibilities, kind of like when we take a weekend trip to unwind. When we fly in our dreams, we're free to go wherever we want, without obstacles. But flying can also symbolize a sense of control, of power over your own life, like a conductor leading their orchestra. When we're up high, we see everything from a different perspective, like when you climb to the top of a famous dome. Let's move on to a much less pleasant dream, losing teeth. It's a recurring nightmare for many, often leaving a sense of anxiety and vulnerability upon waking, like when we realize we've left our phone at home. Losing teeth is associated with the idea of aging, the fear of time passing by relentlessly, and the fear of losing our beauty and vitality, a bit like a Renaissance painting that's starting to fade. Teeth are a symbol of strength, confidence, the ability to face the world head-on, like a lion defending its territory. Losing them can represent a moment of insecurity, of fragility, the feeling of not being up to life's challenges, like when a national soccer team doesn't qualify for the World Cup. And who hasn't woken up with their heart racing after being chased in a dream? A truly terrifying experience, worse than riding a roller coaster in the dark. Being chased in our dreams is a clear sign that there's something in our waking life that we're avoiding, like our mother-in-law inviting us over for Sunday lunch. It could be a thorny problem to deal with, a difficult decision to make, or an uncomfortable emotion that we don't want to face, like when we try to pretend we're okay with a dish we really don't like. Our pursuer represents that part of us that pushes us to confront what we're trying to ignore, like a little voice whispering in our ear. And here we are with another dream classic, a true evergreen, falling into the void. That free fall that makes you wake up in a cold sweat often represents the fear of losing control over your life, of not being able to handle situations that arise, like when you spill a glass of red wine all over yourself during an important dinner. It can be linked to a period of intense stress, nerve-wracking uncertainty, or sudden and overwhelming changes, like when we move to a new city and don't know anyone. In some cases, falling into the void can also symbolize the fear of failure, of not living up to our own or others' expectations, like when we go to an important job interview and feel inadequate. And finally, let's go back in time to our school days, with the recurring nightmare of exams, the one that makes you wake up with the same anxiety as when you were called on unexpectedly in class. This type of dream, even years later, can continue to haunt us like a broken record, and the reason is simple. It represents the fear of judgment, the fear of not living up to expectations, the fear of failure, a bit like when we try a complicated recipe and are afraid of making a bad impression on our guests. Even though we're not students anymore and don't have to face homework or pop quizzes, life constantly tests us. It asks us to prove our worth, like when we have to give an important presentation at work. So what do you think? Did you recognize any of your own dreams in these descriptions? The world of dreams is as fascinating and mysterious as a strange movie, and it offers us a precious window into our unconscious mind, that unknown and unexplored place. Remember though, that these are just general interpretations, and the meaning of a dream can vary from person to person, just like political opinions during an election.